Today on Toypixx, I'm going to show you how I got the lighting effects for that shot. Cue the intro. Well, hello there everybody, I'm Photo Dave and this is Toypixx. And whether this is your first or 100th time on the channel, Toypixx is all about helping you and helping me get better at action figure photography. So that means I'll talk about action figures, I'll talk about photography. When it comes to figures, I'll talk about what's going on in the industry, why I collect certain figures, maybe show off some along the way. When it comes to photography, I'll show you what lenses I use, a little bit of lighting tips and tricks, and for today, we're going to hit you with a Photoshop tutorial on how I got the lighting going on Psylocke's blade and kind of how it was shining throughout the rest of the picture. Because of that, because, you know, we gotta make the focus totality of her psychic powers look right. Right? So if that kind of stuff sounds cool to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And next up, let's reverse engineer this bad boy on Photoshop. Okay, now, before we get to the actual photo, I realize that I've brought up feathering a couple times, and I want to show you what feathering is in Photoshop simply because I used it quite a bit in this shot. So, we've got two layers, layer 1, layer 2, I'll just use as examples. So now, we set the feather to 0. And what that'll do is make it so it's just a hard line. So let's just draw a circle real quick. Fill with the foreground color, which I have as black. Game on. Guess it's dark gray. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so there it is with a 0 feather. Hard line, no big deal. That's if you want to just draw a nice little circle. Happy circle. Now, if we change the feather to 255, which is how high it can go, and we try and draw a circle there. I didn't get even big enough with that circle to do it. Alright, so let's try here. Man, you'd think I could at least draw a circle in this. Okay, there's that. And now fill again. So that's what you get with a big time feather. You get a lot of fading. And so what this helps us do when it comes to photos like this, like any photo, is it allows us to add effects that kind of just bleed into the background without really looking a little too, I don't know, without looking too abrupt. Something that can look a little more realistic. But with that out of the way, now, let's go to this picture, and as always, folks, I'm gonna have to reverse engineer this because I'm always scared I'm gonna miss a step if I don't. So, first thing we've got is Psylocke's psychic knife, the focus totality of her psychic powers. I took a pink color, and I did a feather, and what I did there was I used the magic wand tool. It looks like I probably used about a 50 feather. And so I just drew kind of around the knife a little bit there. And let's just add another so you can see. Oh, so much dead air. We'll add this color. So you can see there is quite a bit there as far as some fading. Now, that was a lot bigger, obviously, but I also used a color dodge on that original layer, so you can see that that's what gives it kind of this whitish look going on that I have down around the blade. So now let's get rid of that. And you see, color dodge, layer style. Then we went up here, we went into the highlights. I mean, that was pretty easy just on its own right there. It was just coloring over it, clicking the pink foreground layer, filling, done, color dodge, bingo. Now, what I did on the rest of these, and I'm going to make sure before I start speaking, we have another color dodge layer that I used for highlight, so I'll hide the layer real quick. Okay, I used it primarily, it looks like, on Psylocke's leg, and all I did was I took a pink, like I went with a circle with a brush, and I just drew on her leg to give it those highlights. And what I'm trying to do here is show the light from the blade. So that's all I did there. Pretty simple stuff. You adjust the width and everything of the circle, or the circumference of the circle, by pushing the left bracket, which shrinks it, or the right bracket, which makes it a little larger. Then we went in here and we got kind of her stomach, underneath her chest, all that stuff. And there I used a linear dodge and I lowered the opacity, because had I used just regular color dodge, it would have looked too stark, too contrasty with the pink. So I just changed it up to linear dodge, did that. And now we're talking the reflection on the trooper to kind of show he's right in front of her. And with that one, it was color dodge again, but this time I lowered down because, again, with the color dodge going over darker colors, then if you use color dodge, the color's going to be way too light. Here, I'll demonstrate this real quick. So if you do that, that just doesn't look natural, and that's at 100% using color dodge. So if you do that, it looks a little more natural. So that's why you do that kind of thing. And the reason that I don't come up with just basic tutorials on how to do just your basic energy effects is because of things like that. You see that her blade is against a light wall, but then the reflection, or the light coming from the blade, is against some darker colors. And so sometimes that just messes with the layer styles you can use. Like for this one, where I used the linear dodge instead of the color dodge. Now, one more thing I wanted to bring up was this. You can see in the color adjustments layer on the right hand side, I have a hue saturation layer going. And you see that I have this. I sort of masked this off. I sort of selected this area. See where the pink is against the wall? So I selected that area, I filled it with the pink, but before I filled it with the pink, what I did was I used a feather that was probably about 255 to cover this whole area. But then, which is why I showed you what I showed you at the beginning, I made the feather 0 pixels. And then I cut along this doorway, because I didn't want this color to fade into here. It wouldn't have made sense with the photo. So that's just a little bit of what I did when it came to the lighting coming from the psychic knife onto the rest of this picture. So yeah, that's it. So that was it, folks. That was how I got the lighting effects on the Psylocke picture. So if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Let's see what you got. And if you have any other suggestions, if you go through my pictures on Instagram or Twitter and would like to know how I made some of that stuff work, go ahead and leave those suggestions in the comments. Now in the video description, I'm going to leave a link, an affiliate link to Adobe, to Photoshop, because hey, while Photoshop used to be strictly the domain of the graphic designer, now pretty much everybody can use it. So if you're thinking and you're on the fence, just check out the link, see what Photoshop has to offer. You're good to go. I'm also going to drop an Amazon affiliate link for a Marvel Legends Psylocke, because the Mafex Psylocke, isn't on Amazon. So instead, I'll put the Mafex Psylocke link from eBay on there, and it's just a quick eBay search I'm going to do for. You'll see both of them kind of suck on the secondary market, and of course, because it's me and because I want to put something nutty out there, I'm going to have the surprise ridiculous thingy in the description as well. So it's me finding something stupid, you click on it, you go to Amazon, you get a chuckle. And if you want to support the channel, good lord words, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and go shopping on Amazon. Buy anything that you're thinking you might need to get. For instance, maybe that part on the weed eater could use a replacement. So do that, support the channel, Watching this video helps support the channel. Subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that helps out, so I really appreciate it all. And with that, folks, have fun and happy snapping. See ya.